Jibs. Oh, but it looks like you may get caught out here. Oh, Jibs backing up a little bit. He's going to pick off maybe a catapult here. I don't know, but Jibs might engage here. But he doesn't have his catapults with him. Veni's sort of pre-splitting here in anticipation of the fireballs. Jibs throwing out some fireballs, but they're not doing a huge amount of damage here. Sort of hitting 1 or 2 units, which is not what you want. And Jibs reinforcing this area and trying to take back his base. He has managed to take the majority of map control here. You can see Veni's got this lower half, but Jibs has pretty much full vision of most of the map. Most is actually Veni's base, my apologies. Quite difficult to play, there's no player colours on them. Again coming over to contest this this right hand side. We'll see if either player has a slightly different strategy here for trying to actually come round and approach these mage forces. Jib's actually pushing quite far down to this base now. And you can start to see where this catapult lead is really going to help Veni now. Veni's base does get knocked down, but he's going to continue to put pressure on Jibs. Catapults do push down this tower from Veni on the left hand side, so he's going to free Jibs up with some more space. We can see nearly up to 16 mages now, which is going to be a huge bonus there for Veni. And despite his lower income, he is managing to keep quite a high gold count. You can see with these small armies, it's quite difficult to actually trade away units to take advantage of the gold lead. You need basically all your units in your main army to really be able to stay out on the map. You can't really afford to send too many units off to one side. Although you can see he does have quite a large group of soldiers over at the third, so maybe you should bring these back and actually have them come assist. JBS again trying to take the space. Just once again making it a point of contention. You can see he's starting to spread his mages out. Both players trying to make sure they've got all sides covered. This catapult lead though is going to start to help from Veni. Just in these siege situations, they've got such long range. JBS not cancelling that base again, so it will cost him a little bit, but he does have quite a large bank. Looks like Jibs is actually going to move in here. Soldiers coming in on the left hand side. Mages don't really want to open fire on such a small group of units and so close. It does manage to fireball his opponent's units. JBS really not engaging with his whole army here, which could be a big mistake unless he's planning on trading it off. It hasn't really managed to kill too many units. More mages slowly trickling in now for Jibs. Not sure where his attention is because it's not in this battle. Does manage to drop a few more fireballs on these units. But catapult shots will take out some mages here. Quite a few catapults dropping now for Veni. And Jibs maybe just looking to trade unit for unit here. Veni's bank's starting to get a little bit small. You can see his main base and his natural are all mined out. There's about 1,000 gold in either of these bases, but they're not being fully mined. Those Jibs does have those 2 center ones and the ones at the top. You can see actually some of Veni's workers are not even mining at the moment, so he's really on 17 mining workers. You can see he's stalled out at about 300 gold. So as long as JBS can keep in this game and keep trading, he is going to start to pull into an advantage here. He's going to start to pressure these towers on the right hand side again. And then he is going to back off, see if he can counter-attack around a different way. Let's do this catapult on the right hand side here. And so I'm just going to poke and see what damage it can do, but I think it's just going to die before it really gets much done. But Jibs hasn't really noticed the fact that this army has actually swung round to the left hand side, so we'll be able to pressure this base. Again, there's no... Oh, just to say that workers are transferring over here. So this is actually going to be a good chunk of Jibs' mining force. Jibs does have a significant bank, so he can afford to replace these. But his army's way out of position here at the moment. Okay, his army's cleaning up his opponent's base on the left hand side. But Veni's just going to park here and try and harass this tower. But Jibs is taking back this right hand side for map control. And possibly going to go down and try and harass the base. Veni's going to leave some catapults up here to damage this fort, but he's being forced back here. He can't really afford to lose these bases down here. More importantly, he can't afford to lose the workers. He's only got half the workers of his opponent here. You can see he's down to about 100 gold. So as long as Jibs can keep trading with him, he's going to get more and more of an advantage. It is 5-5 on upgrades for both players here. Fireball does land on a few of his mages. These soldiers are really going to help out for Jibs here as he tries to get closer. Fireball's landing in a few of these units, then he's holding a chunk of his army back so these mages can get some damage done. Then he's trying to get his mages in close to damage the sort of core of this army behind these catapults. He's going to lose a few units at the front here. But a small great mage group is going to push forward and try and do some damage. It does take some more catapult shots on them. JBS shuffling back so it doesn't take too much damage, so down some defensive fireballs. These catapults moving to the front here to try and siege up this position again. Just microing back so he doesn't lose as many catapults as his opponent. You can see Jibs once again sending some soldiers down to the south to see if they can harass and do some damage while his engagement's going on. You can see from Veni here, he just can't really afford to keep reinforcing. He's practically run out of gold, so he's throwing down towers to try and defend. But you can see Jibs can just keep producing sort of full barracks worth of units as well as 2 catapults. So as long as he can keep trading here, this is probably going to be the road to the end. And these heavily upgraded soldiers you can see are just tearing through the space on the bottom right. And there's not much Veni can do about it. He's going to try and engage him while these soldiers are out of position though. Oh, no, he backs off. And he's going to come down to the south side. This is one of the last remaining bases of Veni. Workers are going to try and defend this fort as the main army comes down south to defend it. I can see Veni has actually used his catapults to actually take out the space now. We're going to continue pressuring around on the left hand side. You can see these soldiers actually are going to be able to come in on top of these mages as they try and transition through. This is nearly pure mage now for Veni, and these soldiers are going to take not much damage from fireballs. He is throwing out more fireballs against his opponent's mages. And they're trying to space each other out here, but Jib's got great vision with this tower right in the centre of the opponent's army. You can see Jibs gets nearly a full view of his opponent's army while this battle's going on. Just hang back to trade fireballs with his opponent here. Jib's army is a bit spread out. He's going to lose that catapult on the right hand side. More soldiers again you can see heading off to do counter attack damage and just defending these catapults in the top right. Fireballs are starting to land here, and Veni's army is really starting to look quite small. He's got a nice catapult lead here, he still has managed to keep those alive. But his army is dwindling now. JB is taking the mage lead. Catapult shots do land on these units on the right hand side. Fireballs starting to land on these catapults. They are taking a lot of damage. You can see JBS just luring out these catapults, starting to set up a really nice concave. More fireballs landing in them. These catapults are starting to get on very low health. Oh! That's three massive fireballs landing in the middle of Veni's mages. It's a really difficult position here. These soldiers are managing to deal with Veni's... Oh, slight walk through bug there. On the right side, mages trying to move forward. They're not getting much done though with all these catapults here of Jibs. It's just not going to do enough. Does manage to take down the catapult on the left hand side here, but Mage is throwing down more fireballs on these catapults. Catapult shots once again missing on the mages, and you can see how small Jib's Veni's army is starting to get. Jib's still holding back with units here, and there we go. That's GG from Veni, and Jibs takes game 2 of this best of 5 series. Really strong performance there. Oh cool, we've got 4 people in chat, that's pretty good. And Jibs is just asking for a quick minute, just so he can prepare for the next game. Alright, so it looks like game 3 is going to be played on Crimson Woods. Not the most popular map for sort of tournament play, but it is in the map pool. Crimson Woods is a lot smaller than sort of most other maps that get played here. And it does have some interesting properties to do with the natural. So the natural base does actually have a thin entrance point between the main and the natural for safe essentially transfer. But the natural does have essentially destructible entrance on one side. The other big feature about this map is that it, as well as being really small, it's really difficult to take a sort of decent third on this map. So this is likely to be quite a short game. Well, I say that, but these players have proven me wrong before.